The tone was set in the writing. The style, obviously the director had a part of it. I mean, I have to feel that I helped affect the style of the show. There were really, it was interesting. There were two schools of comedy that were very successful at that time. And Norman Lear did his shows like a stage play, facing more out to the audience and projecting a lot more. I always felt that when you're watching on television, you wonder, why are people yelling at each other? Why aren't they just talking? So I tried to do more of a word play and play to each other and talk to each other and not scream the lines. Because I would always say, well, we've got mics and we're in close-up, you don't have to yell. Because there was an audience of 300 people. And an actor's natural tendency is for everybody to hear, especially theater people. I mean, Ed Asner had a big booming voice, and I used to constantly have to talk to him about, you don't have to yell, pull it down. They can hear you because they're mics. So the style I think I brought to it was more of a conversational style, although it's still, there's a lot of projection in it. It was less for those days than other shows. And I didn't have people play out front. I had them play more to each other, and I tried to keep a lot of movement and try to find the reality. I mean, the writing was so good, and it was so real. If historians will look at the beginning shows with Ted Baxter, Ted Knight, and he was so dumb and so unreal. And as the series went on more and more and more, he started finding his humanity, and we started finding it. And you know, although he was still a conceited character and he wasn't too bright, more and more of the real human being came out, which didn't start. Originally, he was just sort of one of those dumb, good-looking guys. And originally, there was supposed to be maybe a romance between Mary and Ted's character. In the pilot, I think he only has 2 or 3 lines. But as the series started going on, we knew that wasn't going to work. But it was a really wonderfully written show. It was so interesting and intelligent, and the laughs would come out of character. And there really wasn't anything like it at the time. It was just wonderful writing, well acted. So, you know, obviously a style has to depend on the director. Jim Brooks and I had different opinions, very different opinions on how things should play. And for 8 years, we battled. And thank God for Alan Burns, who would sort of be caught in the middle and mediating. But about the 4th show, Mary called Jim and me into her trailer and said, you guys have to work this out. I can't stand it, because we were in constant battle. I didn't want things to be quite so big and broad. And I think at that point, Jim wanted things to play a little bigger. And I'm not being critical, but I'm saying the truth. There was a constant battle between me and Jim, who I think is brilliant. And somehow we'd find a third way to play things and do things. But we started off, it was quite loud, this side of the camera. And Mary really said, I can't stand it. You guys have to work this out. So somehow we found a way not to yell and scream. We still had our arguments.